When we were younger, texting someone first or starting a conversation felt natural. If we liked someone, we talked to them. If we missed someone, we reached out. If we wanted to invite a friend somewhere, we simply sent a message. Back then, we did not think too much about who initiated first, who replied faster, or whether we were bothering anyone. But as we grow older, something begins to change. We see someone's name in our contacts and suddenly want to ask how they are doing. But then we stop. We open the chat box, type a few words, then erase them. We spend a long time thinking about a very simple message. Sometimes there are people we truly care about, people we genuinely miss, yet we stay silent for months. Not because we no longer care, but because adulthood often comes with more layers of emotional self-protection. The first reason may be a very quiet kind of pride. When we were younger, we did not keep score as much. But as we get older, especially after a few experiences of being answered coldly, left on read, or feeling like we are always the one reaching out first, we become more cautious. We start asking ourselves, why is it always me? Am I trying too hard? Do they even want to talk to me? And just like that, the message stays unsent. This kind of pride is not always a bad thing. Sometimes it is simply the way we protect our self-respect. After enough emotional friction, people learn to be careful with anything that might make them feel unimportant. The second reason is the fear of being a burden. The older we get, the more we realize that everyone is busy. Everyone has work, responsibilities, family issues, and private struggles. Because we understand that, we become more careful before stepping into someone else's space. A message as simple as, "Hey, how have you been?" suddenly comes with many thoughts. Is this a bad time? What if they are busy? What if they do not want to reply? Maybe I should text later. The more we learn to consider other people, the more easily we can fall into silence. Ironically, many relationships do not end because of conflict. They slowly fade because both people are trying not to bother each other. The third reason is that adults often learn to hide their need for connection. When we were younger, if we felt lonely, we looked for friends. If we were sad, we talked. If we missed someone, we said it. But as people grow older, reaching out can start to feel like revealing too much. Texting first may feel like admitting that we need the other person more than we want them to know. We are afraid of looking vulnerable, afraid of seeming too available, afraid that the other person will realize we care more than we meant to show. So instead of saying, "I miss you," we stay quiet. Instead of asking, "Are you okay?" we just scroll through their profile to see how they are doing. Instead of sending a message, we wait for a sign from them. And sometimes that sign never comes. There is also a very modern reason behind this: the way digital communication changes how we think. Today, texting is no longer just texting. It comes with reply times, online status, seen receipts, reactions, and patterns of attention. Even small details can make people overthink. It is not that adults are more sensitive than before. It may simply be that they have gone through enough to read too much into silence. A short reply can feel like distance. One unanswered message can stay in someone's mind for a long time. A conversation that slowly fades can become the reason someone promises themselves never to text first again. And little by little, Initiating contact starts to feel difficult. But perhaps the most important part is this: most people are not as indifferent as they seem. Some people look distant, quiet, and rarely reach out first. But in their minds, they have thought about texting someone many times. They just never send it. Not because they do not want to, but because they want connection and self-protection at the same time. It sounds contradictory, but it is actually very common in adulthood. We want to be remembered, but we are afraid to be the first one who remembers. We want to be cared for, but we are afraid of caring more. We want to stay connected, but we do not want to feel like we are disturbing someone. Maybe that is why growing older does not necessarily mean there is no one left to text. Sometimes it means there are still many people in our hearts, but we no longer know how to begin the conversation. And sometimes, what brings a relationship back to life is not a perfect message. It is just one simple sentence. "Hey, how have you been?" Maybe the person on the other side has been waiting for that message too. If you have ever opened a chat box, typed a few words, and then deleted them, you are probably not the only one.